Hello everybody and welcome to a new video, and today I'm ranking every killer from easy to very hard. And this is based on points. This is just based on a rough estimate of how hard they are to play, how math dependency. For example, Hillbilly, you have to understand how certain loops work on certain maps, where you can turn around, where you can't turn around. And yeah, and killers like Nurse, for example, you just teleport through the fucking wall and hit them. It's not that different. So, yeah, let's get started. Starting off with the Trapper. I would say he is a hard killer when you consider everything about him. He is a killer that you have to understand how to use his traps. Now he is easy to start using, but once you get into kind of the moderate skills and mastering of each map, which he is a little bit map syndrome. So I think he deserves this. He's a hard killer to play / master. So yeah. Okay, moving on to the Wraith. Simple, easy killer. He is nothing crazy to master about him, besides the speed coming out of cloak. When the cloak, when not the cloak. Yeah, it's just basic gen macro strats. Nothing crazy, and yeah. Overall, I think Wraith is a solid killer. I think he is one of the easier killers in the game. I think top 3 easiest in the game, to be honest. And then we have the Hag. Or not fucking Hag, the fucking Hillbilly, sorry. Hillbilly, I think is, sorry, wrong place. Very hard. He is a killer that is difficult as fuck to play. He has map dependencies, I mentioned earlier when I was actually explaining map dependency. And, not map dependency, but map specific specific things on maps you have to watch out for. So I think, yeah, I think Billy is possibly the hardest killer in the game to play. I don't think he is, but I think he's close to it. I think he's a harder killer, so. Okay, next we have the Nurse. I would say a moderate killer. A lot of people say she's the hardest killer in the game to play. She is, like, if you can master her, you deserve 4K in every game. No, no, no. She's a killer that you get used to the range, and then like, oh, this is how it works. Oh my bad. Sorry, sorry. Okay, and basically, yeah, I ran out. I was on my Xbox. I woke up. I'm like, I'm a master nurse. I played like 2 games, and I was 4K. It was literally as easy as that. And then I got no. And the thing is, I was on Xbox with like 30 frames per second because I'm broke as fuck. And then I got a laptop, and I don't even play. I don't play PC. I wish they add cross progression, please. Add that. And I remember they were like it was funny because it was I played nurse with no perks, and I literally did not. I've not lost on PC with no perks because it's so easy. Like the timing transfers over perfectly, and you just teleport, dead, dead. Like simple as that. There's no counter to it besides DCing, which is OP. So besides that, nurse, moderate killer. You just learn that. And then there are like you kind of it's just math like honestly gen macros. She's easy though. You kind of have to understand her. You can't play her like a number killer, and there is some unique shit with her with how you go through walls, what walls are harder to teleport, how much you hold down your thing, like that. That's like I think Wraith is like easy. This is a moderate killer though. This is the difference is like this. This is a basic killer with some shit. Nurse is a killer that's easy, but she's different. Simple as that. Next, we have Shape. Harder than Wraith, but I don't think he is a moderate killer. I think he's an easy killer because he's a killer that you use your tier 3 at the right time. You get out tier 1 very fast because you understand where they spawn because you play the game for a while, and then after that you kind of understand what you're doing. Yeah. Besides that though, pretty easy killer. Good perks. Recommend if you're playing the game for your time, pick them up. Pretty fun. Yeah, a lot of different play styles on them. Nothing crazy to master, and especially if you're playing. If you play a Tombstone piece, you're playing the easiest card in the game. But yeah, easy. Next, we have the Hag. Hag is a hard killer to play. I would say Not as hard as Trapper, because Trapper you have less traps. You have to use like you have to control gens, but also have to go for traps and quarter maps. And yeah, I think overall she is a hard killer, but she's not too crazy hard. I think she has some things about her that make her easier to play, such as place down speed. Add-ons are crazy good. You place down shit faster. You understand where to put things down. You put them down with this pallet. Okay, you hit them. Cool, cool, cool. It's a punishing power. If you don't use it correctly, you're now a 4.4 killer, aka 110 killer, against people who are probably already made for this. So you're running only 7% faster than them. So you are gonna have a tough time, man, if you don't use your power correctly. And there are some very good hags out there that will smash teams. And the difference between a bad and a good hag is night and day. And I think that's why she's a hard tier. I don't think she's that hard, but I think she's a hard killer per se, relative to the easy and moderate killers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that she's the hardest killer in the game or a very hard killer. I'm just saying relative to other killers, she's hard. Next, and now after this point, I'm kind of going my own order, is Doctor. And I think Doctor is a easy killer. I remember one day I saw Doctors very hard. I thought, hey, I'm gonna be cool and unique. I'm gonna play Doctor. Very hard killer to play, obviously, and that was in my head at least. And I thought he was such like, obviously I was gonna be respected. No, Doctor's easy as fuck to play. You just stack blast. You kind of run to the middle map. You stack blast. Okay, survivor there, survivor there. Cool, cool, cool. My friend who literally doesn't play the game at all, like other than a few times per like month, he literally plays Doctor because it just shows you where people are, and it's easy as fuck to play. You just place a regular killer. Oh, I see where you are, and I shock you before you get to a window. And I noticed recently how my Doctor game evolved from being just that basic shit, and I kind of did like, okay, this is a pretty easy killer to master because I only played it for a few hundred hours, and then I got to a point like, okay, this killer is a very easy killer to master. I think I have personally hit that point, and I only play that much. So that's the thing. I've reached a point with him. I think I can play, not have to with his add-ons and other stuff, but I feel like I can play him, and I can understand how survival react. Okay, will you mind game? Will you not? I think he's not. Okay, shock. Okay, he did not. I hit him. Easy as that. Cool. Okay. Now we get to the. I'm gonna go with Freddy, and Freddy is easier than Wraith. I feel like he's one of the easier. He's top 3 easiest kill in the game. I see number 2 because I think everybody knows the easiest kill in the game. I won't spoil it. We'll get to him eventually though. Bit deeper in. Um, but Freddy plays down snare, hit somebody, make sure they're in dream world. Oh, they're already in dream world. You hit them, they step on your dream snare, and simple as that. You get an easy hit. Repeat, teleport to Gen when you Tinker goes off. Simple as that. Nothing too crazy about him. He's pretty easy. Like with Wraith, you kind of have to understand. Okay, I'm uncloaking him. I need to go here. I need to dodge and go behind this to lose line of sight. Like, yeah, you brought in one of the worst maps, Freddy. You deserve to burn in hell for that, bitch. Next we have Bubba. Bubba. Excuse me. Excuse me. I almost burped. Where is Bubba at? Bubba. Here you go. Bubba is, I would say, harder than Myers, but not harder than Doctor, because you kind of have to not bump into walls. He's still easy though, not bump into walls and shit, and it's tough. And honestly, actually, I put him moderate. Actually, he's a tough killer to play once you get in these indoor maps. Like RPD, he's good on because you can just you're stuck in the hallway with him. He just swipes and you're dead. Simple as that. And with Chili, you have extra fuck, man. So like when Starville did the video where he did sweaty spills on every killer, he set himself to RPD. I'm not sure if this was post or pre RPD nerf. So this is how good this killer is on certain maps. Now, moderate because you just chainsaw them. But at the same time, there is some skill to the chainsaw. It's much easier than Bubba or Hillbillies, but overall, Bubba, I give you some credit for some skill. Besides you basement motherfuckers, you deserve the rot in the fucking basement. Next, I'm not really going to order anymore. Oh, I think Huntress was supposed to be way earlier, but Huntress, Mastering wise, she's the hardest killer. I want hardest killer is the game of the master. I don't think it's the hardest. There's a killer I think that is way harder, but she is extremely hard to master. Understanding the curvature and how full power and like all like the powers between like okay, I need to go half power here, full power there. I need to go like I need to curve it here. I need to run this add-on. I need to run Iron Maiden, Blood Warden, like lethal in barbecue because I'm coconut or some shit. Or maybe I don't know if that's his exact build, but something like that. But like basically huntresses, a good huntress, you're running through a woods and then you get sniped. And then you're on the ground for like 4 minutes because she's a 110 killer. And by the time she gets you, you die because how slow she is. It's funny as hell. Okay. But yeah, good huntresses, fun as hell to play against. And I think as the most played killer in the game, I think we've seen the most variety of these guys. These guys, there's some hunters that go for curvature, some that go for long sniper shots, some go for flick shots like coconut. Overall, a lot of good players have come out of this killer, and I'm really happy with how this killer has developed overall. And yeah, very hard because she is a very basic killer, but she is a very hard killer to master. I think she's one of the perfect killers in the game right now. Okay, moving on to the next kill. I'm gonna go clown. Clown is, I would say, top of easy because he takes brain power. With Doctor, you just blast like, oh, I see you. Like it's simple as that. And even then, I would say Myers is harder too. Okay, so Clown, you have to understand the curvature of the bottle throw, and then you throw bottle, and then you break pallet, then they pre-drop pallet, and then you throw bottle again, and you hit them before they hit the next pallet. Like it's a good chase power. It's just it's easily countered by doing gens. So I think Clown overall is the easy killer though. If you look at the grand scheme of things. Next we have I'm just gonna go to the pig. And the pig is I would say a moderate killer for a few reasons. One, the ambush isn't too hard to learn, but you have to learn it. It takes time to learn. If you use it and fail with it, succeed with it, understand what works, what doesn't work with it, and all of that. And overall, I think that's a decent thing to do. I think it's decent power. And then you have the traps, knowing when to harass traps to kind of get more slowdown value of it. Because sometimes if you just harass a trap, you can get a kill. I've had games where I noticed, okay, this guy has been, his clock's been ticking for a bit. I'm gonna go harass him now, and then I say, okay, I kind of do a little calculation in my head. Okay, I hugged him here. He probably went methodically through all the boxes, so I think he's over here. And then I guess, and I find him, then I interrupt him, then I let him die. So I think he is a killer that, or she's a killer that once you master, she is, you kind of feel it, but it is, I think, at a moderate level. I don't think it's as hard as these killers up here. Okay, moving on to, I'm just gonna go on Legion. Legion's the easiest killer in the game. I don't think we can really discuss it. You see somebody, use your power. It's not too fast. Don't worry, it's not too fast. So you don't really, it doesn't feel that different from actually just regular movement. You hit somebody, it tells you where somebody else is, and then you hit them too. And then let's say if they're stupid and then you get 4 hits somehow, whether somebody mends or somebody, all 4 of them are there, you go down. So, excuse me, as simple as that. And honestly, good. This killer should be in the game. Honestly, I think this killer should be free. He has a good perk in Discordance, and he has a good perk for beginners in Discordance, and then he also has um, a lot, a lot of good beginner shit. I think he's a good thing for the game. I think a lot of them, though. I see a lot of these killers in my games. So, yeah, I think he is the easiest killer in the game, by far. And next we have, who's next? I think I kind of do know who's next. I didn't even get to like the killer that I know who's next. Okay, let's do Spirit. Spirit is moderate because Spirit benefits from headphones, and you put on headphones, you kind of hear where survivors are. Okay, I hear where they are. I'm gonna move towards them. Okay, I hear they're moving back now. I go back. And overall, she isn't too difficult. I can't say she's hard, but I can't say she's easy because saying she's easy is saying that when you can't see survivors, you're able to track them easily. I don't think that's the truth. I think against good survivors, she's a little bit harder to use, but not too hard. I don't think she's hard overall. I think she's a moderate killer that you can master over a few hundred hours of playing her, if I'm being honest. Okay, there you go. Okay, now we have I'm gonna go with. See, I know the order of these killers. I just need to get to a few of them, and let's go to Plague. Plague the Ghostface, and then I'll go Demo. Yeah, that's what we're going. Plague. Plague is a hard as fuck killer to master. She's a sleeper. If you think Trapper's hard to master, Plague. That's what I started. And now he's mains Plague because he's a masochist who wants to fucking get 50 with a clown. That's insane. Plague is a hard as fuck killer to play. She's amazing at rounds. She's a top tier killer, arguably. And honestly, I wanted to play her, and I sucked with her. I absolutely sucked with her because I can't fucking play her. Because, like, her add-ons, great. The purple one that increases her velocity, great. And it actually helps a lot. It gets to it kind of gets where you want to put your puke. It's great. The puke is hard to use, but once you get to use it, she's a strong as fuck killer. Overall, she's very hard to master. That puke is tough as fuck to master, and it does take a lot of practice. And then knowing when to shit on shit, knowing when to infect people, knowing how to read a team, saying, okay, are they gonna cleanse? Are they cleansing? Okay, some of them are cleansing, but while some of them are cleansing, I'm gonna have a peel, and then I'm gonna kill the rest. Like, it's a tough micromanaging game that you have to play when you play Plague. And then also you have to consider the fact that when you play Plague, you're playing with a whole new physics that you're not playing with any other killer. So honestly, what can I say about Huntress and really, I think they shoot shit, but yeah, Plague definitely is up there as a hard as fuck killer that's underrated. Honestly, is she as hard as I think? Okay, I'm putting her hard for right now because I think Trapper is low and hard and Hag's also low and hard. I think Hag might be moderate though. I'm not sure. Okay, okay, sorry about that. Demo puppy. Demo puppy is not that hard to master. I'm putting him down moderate. You have a little lunge thingy you use. You hit somebody with that. Pretty easy. Pretty cool. Fun. You would say the best for last. Big fun. Great. I love it. Oh my god. Xbox notification background. Sorry about that. Demo puppy though is extremely good in certain circumstances. You can use your lunge thingy to go across large distances. You can use your portals to like put him in the right spots. But overall, he's not too hard. He might be easy, but I'm not gonna put him easy just yet. I think easy is his own tier. Like he's not as easy as these killers, and yeah, I think he belongs on this level. Yeah, I might put yeah. No, I think Pig's harder than Nurse. Yeah, fun enough as is. If Pig wasn't nerfed so much, obviously it should be better. Okay, Ghostface. Ghostface is a. I'd say. I'd say. I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put him right. I think right there. No, I think right there. I think he's the best or the hardest moderate character in the game because he gives you a lot of unique shit because he's a stealth killer, but he knocked out of stealth. So you have to watch out for people knocking you out of stealth. I actually played the game today. I was playing on Thompson House as a survivor, and I was playing against Ghostface. And I was so I'm telling you the top floor of Thompson House, where there's like kind of like a locker next to a window, so you get vacuum into the locker when you vault through it. Well, it's actually hiding behind it, so you couldn't see it unless you went through the window. So I basically was sitting on this house. I was waiting for him to leave. And I was dead hook. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here until the bro leaves my gen, and he was about to leave. And I remember I looked at him, and he started to get knocked out of his power. So he knew exactly where I fucking was, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And he fucking killed me. Yeah, but yeah, Ghostface, you kind of understand the 99. You understand how to use your power correctly and all that, and it's not too bad. I think it's easier than or harder than Spirit because Spirit over a few hundred hours, you master easy Ghostface. Over a few hundred hours, you kind of master him. I would say faster, but there's also shit to master. So I think the overall power you understand faster because there's less shit, and that shit you master is actually harder to master overall than spirits. If that makes any sense, basically Spirit has I think more moving components. That's why she takes longer, and Ghostface has less components, but he takes the components that are more important, so they take longer. So that's why Pacer plays him ahead. That's why. Okay, moving on to I'm gonna go with my boy Deathslinger. Another hard killer to play. He has a gun, and using that gun correctly is tough as fuck. Using that gun in a good way is really hard to do because you can shoot through cracks and shit. You have to understand that it isn't hit scan. It's as soon as the chain hit reaches there. So you kind of adjust via the distance. But oh yeah, overall Deathslinger is tough to use, and also he's slower, so you can't really use his gun very well. You're punished by that. So mastering him, I think is hard. I think he's a hard killer to master. But when you get to use him well, I think he's definitely better. I think Trapper's harder though. And then we have now I know the order. Okay, Pyramid. Pyramid is I think top 3 in the game hardest to master. Wall banging people is so hard. It's so difficult. Using your Right's Judgment can be so rewarding. Like, let's say you understand, okay, if I put some right here, this is going to make this loop more dangerous. And it's going to be like, the guy is going to be like, hey, I have deliverance. I'm not going to step in this shit. I'd rather take an extra hit and be injured now than to step in this shit and not go to a hook. That's like, that little thing of, oh, I want my hook perk to work, so I'm gonna give you a hit is so powerful, man. It's so powerful. It's so nice. And overall, Pyramid Head is super hard to play because that wall bang is so hard to use. I think like Billy's arguably harder, but I think Pyramid Head hitting through walls and predicting is the one of the hardest. I think one of the hardest things in the game to do. Besides one thing, I think one thing is harder than what he does. Well, maybe two things. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I think Billy might. I think I'm put Billy above them right for right now. I think for right now. Okay, now we have Blight. Blight is I think most likely he is the hardest killer in the game to play because there's so many flicks you have to learn with him, and there's so many little tiny things you have to do to play him correctly. And trust me, I've tried to play him correctly for a while, and I just haven't took enough hours into him. It's a thing where you need to master him to really be effective with him. You play him moderately, like you play him a little bit, and then you kind of know how to use his power, pick him up with it. Pickup time isn't that bad, but overall, do I think that Blight is a insanely hard killer to master? Yes. Do I think he's a easy killer to pick up? He's a regular killer, and you can use it in easy ways. But to get multiple and majority of your hits per match via your power, that is one of the hardest things in this game to do. I think one, if not the hardest thing in the game to do. Okay, moving on, we have Twins. Yeah, Twins. Okay, Twins is a. I think are they very hard? They are definitely hard as fuck to use, but are they as hard as the high, very very high lethality killers like Blight and Hillbilly and Pyramid Head? I don't know. I'm better in. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Quince is harder than Plague. That's tough, but I think Plague is not as crazy as um I said earlier. I was saying but she's a one dimension to her power, but that one dimension is hard as fuck. So I think she deserves her spot. But I think Twins is so hard to use because if you want to use it without camping, you have to use it so well. So I'm gonna say Plague is harder, and then I'm put it there. That's my final adjustment there. Okay, now we have Trickster. Um, I'm saying he's the bottom part. You have to kind of understand how to pepper your knives correctly. Besides that, though, he's not as hard as, let's say, Ghostface. Ghostface, you kind of have to, okay, I go stalk you, okay, cool, instant down. No, Trickster, you have to, okay, bring Iron Maiden. That's the first step. Iron Maiden. Okay, then you go, and you hit the fucking survivor with your knives. Or with your bat. You make that decision first. That's pretty easy. If they're close enough, hit them with bat. If you go far enough, pepper them with your knives, and get that first hit. And then you kind of aim your knives, deal with recoil, unless you're playing controller, which then you get no recoil, and then you just go and you're chilling. So I think honestly, I'm gonna put him in moderate. I don't think he's that hard. I think he's harder than Ghostface though. Yeah, I think he's top moderate. I don't think he's quite hard though. I wouldn't even say he's on the same tier as Hag. Okay, now we're moving on to the more newer killers. And Oni, I forgot about Oni. Oni's like Oni, short power window. Oni has a short power window, but he has high lethality in that window. So really, the whole point of Oni's skill ceiling is understanding how to do flicks with his power, understanding the decision making. Okay, I'm at 3 gens. I downed 2 people in my power. Do I go for more, or do I just pick up right now? If you decide to go for more, you potentially win the game right there. If you don't, you are now at F. Let's say you have 4 hooks, because 2 hooks, you just guys 2 hooks, 1 guy's in hook, and now 1 guy got hooked recently for the first time. 1 guy's now on the second stage of this hook, and now you are have a shit ton of pressure. But then guess what? If you stay in your power and you're really good with Oni, then you can really, really cook. And I think that makes him. The decision making mixed with the flicks, I think, makes him better than Twins. I think better than Twins and better than Plague. Possibly very hard. I don't think so, because he's a very forgiving Demon Dash, I'd say. But I think that's the whole point of Demon Dash, is that it's forgiving, because he's in rage. He doesn't give a fuck. Okay, now we have Blight, Trickster Twins. What's that came out of Trickster? I believe it was like Nemesis. Nemi. Nemi? To Master? To Master? I think he's like right here. If you see Nemi players, they're crazy, dude. Like, Oz got 50 wins on him. Ozarvik got 50 wins on this killer and didn't even understand him completely. Didn't even get fat master him, per se. It was until years later until they found out, okay, this is like kind of like it's a time each like Kit Kat hits on the thing, which is so weird. This killer is really weird how his power works, but mastering him is a one-dimensional thing. You just tear up fast, then you just go hit people, and you understand when they use your power, anti-loop. But that is such a, I think Trapper's Deathslinger. Yeah, I think that's where he belongs. Nemesis is definitely a tough killer to learn, and he has a lot of different tiny things about him that makes him different from other range killers. Okay, moving on, we have after we got Nemesis. Who did we get? Let me think. We got Nemesis. We got. Hold on, let me order this. See, I know the order of these killers. I just need to get to a few of them. I'm ordering the killers. Okay, this is the order. Okay, so Pinhead, I think, is one of the hardest killers in the game. The Master. I think you can't really go wrong with putting him above Huntress, because Pinhead, you have to think about the box spawn. Okay, as like a, I think I've heard hooks or not hooked. Pinhead mates compared to the box to a hooked survivor, and like, okay, you don't want to run to you don't want, like, survivors don't want to run to the box. They want to run to, like, away from the box, because it's like they think okay, it's a priority thing. They don't want the kill to find or the kill to be around. So that's a great thing. The way thing about the hook survivor, and then also he uses that in the sense that, okay, they're running away, probably running away from it, or they're running to it. They use that like, what survivor is this? Is the guy that will run to it or run away from it? And then think about, okay, wait, Is this guy gonna fucking pick it up? No, he's not. Okay, cool. Besides that, though, you calculate where the power or the box goes, and after that, then you gotta use your chain. Using your chain correctly is the hardest part about this power. Going, chaining, then interrupting box. That's tough. Built-in slowdown is great and amazing, and I think that's what makes Pinhead special. So built-in slowdown isn't like Pig, where it's like, well, you gotta down them first. No, it's just a okay. Now everyone starts with it. Everyone get it off. Everyone, I'm not get them off like Pig, like for Spirit Tracks, but like no, everyone has to contribute to stopping it in a team, which makes Pinhead tough. So honestly, tough killer to master. I think you can look like it's so interesting to watch top tier Pinhead. It's so different from how like they pick up the box like 4 times a game, dude. It's crazy. 4, 5, 6 times a game. Artist. Artist wall bangs. And that's how like, does a lot of time. You kinda predict. You kinda like know where to put down your crows and loop. Besides that though, I don't say she's super, super hard. I think she's just a hard killer. Not quite as like insane as like Huntress. I don't think she might be. She might be. I'm not sure. I'm gonna leave her there and think about it later. Okay, Onryo. Onryo is like I think Onryo's right there. I think Onryo is a killer that you need to use brain power for. You know, okay, I teleport across the map here. I can't teleport here again in like 80 70 seconds or 80, 90 seconds, and I have to go across the map, or I have to go and interrupt people, and then I have to use my stealth correctly. Like, there's a lot of moving parts in Onryo that if you use correctly, master, it doesn't take a shit ton of time, but once you do it, it's like, okay, you did it, good job. And you feel rewarded because you're interrupting people on gens or your TVs, and you're really using your power correctly. So I think overall, yeah, I think Onryo is a moderate killer to master. I don't think it's that crazy. Dredge, my personal main, and I haven't mastered him. I have not put enough time into him. I think recently I've decided to actually main him. I played him for a while though. I'm just gonna move him to. I was moving around randomly. Sorry. I'm putting like most likely um the bottom hard. I don't think he's that hard to master, but I don't think he's moderate. Because like if you're saying moderate, I think you like the same little trickster. Trickster, you just pepper knives. Ghostface, you just look at and then they die. Like Spirit, you just go hit him. That's it. Like there's nothing that crazy with like Dredge, but like understanding how Dredge Remnant works is the hardest part. Lockers aren't that hard. You just teleport to the locker closest to the guy. If there's a lock there, you break the lock. Good job. If there isn't a lock there, you just get an easy free slap. Simple as that. Nightfall. Um, Hoax Survivor, good. Injure Survivor, great. Keep somebody injured. That's amazing. Simple as that. Keep that in mind. And that helps you build your Nightfall. Besides that, though, overall, Dredge isn't that crazy in really like any sense of his power besides his remnant, which his remnant can be used skillfully and can be countered skillfully. So it is a thing where the better player will win, and that's why I think you need to put hours into it. Because people that understand how to play against remnant will play against remnant very well. And yeah, overall, I think Dredge is a hard killer to play, borderline hard. And I think he's in a weird area. I think he's in hard. Next we have Wesker. He's another. I think he's honestly. I've seen the text. Literally one. You need to do it within one frame. My bad. I don't know why he's a white border. Sorry, around him, but it's okay. I'm gonna put him in fucking top of hard. He's a hard killer to play, man. He's hard as fuck. If you played Wesker and you're trying to master him, you have to learn this tech, this tech, this tech, and this tech. And they're frame perfect techs. You have to use, okay, I'm moving this object. Okay, pop my power. Dash. Like, literally, I don't think it's I've never used these techs on console before. Because I don't think it's possible 30 FPS. I don't think it's possible. Actually, I'm moving very hard. I think he's one of the hardest codes in Game the Master. Using his power in a very good way is tough. Or good, very good way is easy, but using his power in a exceptional, almost uncounterable way, if you don't know how to counter it, is insanely tough. Okay, moving down from that, we have Knight. Knight is probably like right here. He is a killer that you put down a thing, people fuck with it, and then simple as this. You try this one way, either your boyo hits him, or your boyo, or you hit him. Either way, they get hit at a loop. They hold W. That's the whole strat. Nothing crazy. Knight, you kind of have to use your brain a little bit with like, okay, put patrol here and there, and then okay, I'm walking on this 3 gen. Very cool. Other than that, I think actually he's like down here. Actually, I put demo way higher. Yeah, I'll put demo right there. Then we have Skull Merchant. Um, Skull Merchant's right there. She's the top easy killer. She literally just plays like a killer, a regular killer the whole game. Then she places down drones at the last 3 gens, and then you lose. She had 3 gens, you lose the fucking game. Simple as that. And I don't think it's really that complicated. She's not really that hard to play. She just places down her drones. And honestly, I think Clown's harder. I think Shape's harder. I think Doctor's harder. I think Wraith, no. I think, yeah, she's like as the same level as Wraith. Pretty easy to play. Okay. Now, more excitingly, we have the Singularity. I have no idea where to put this guy. All I know is hard killer to master. I think he's up here. I want to say he's like right there. I want to say he's right there because Singularity is extremely, extremely difficult to play, and the counterplay does kind of get rid of this gen kind of control build, kind of that's going around where you kind of control gens with your pile pods, and you kind of just use it. The EMP is counter to that, so you use it more in chase, but then you instructively like place down these bio like if you've like I remember I watched a video. I think it was a Hens video with Otts commentating on the side, I think, and it was a Singularity game where one kill. I think it was like a few hook stages, nothing crazy, right? Nothing crazy. Singularity gets smashed. Next game, I think it was against like Team Eternal or some shit. They get fucking destroyed. The comp team got fucking smashed by him, and he was obviously still a new killer, but like, dude, you know how hard it is to play that good with a killer in this sort of amount of time? And they were just like teleporting bipod, 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 teleporting here, showing up here, bam, bam, shooting, no, leaving mid chase, popping over here. Like this killer, I have no idea to rank him. All I know is that this killer has a high skill ceiling that honestly is super duper hard to master. So I'm putting him outside top 3. I'm putting him like right. I'm putting him. I think Huntress is harder. I'm saying. I think he's borderline very hard. I think that's fair, right? But I think in my like, I think where he's gonna land is like right here in the future. But I think right now, I think he's fairly to not undercut other killers. I think he is on the very like borderlineness of this tier of top being very hard. And looking at this, I think this is a um I think that if this was like killer like tier list where it was like, okay, this is the best code, this is the worst killer, I don't think this would be too bad. I think Blight being the best code in the game isn't that bad, honestly. Yeah, but that's interesting to think about if this was actually a tier list. Um, Besides that though, um, this is fun to make. Any suggestions for tier lists, rankings, any of that type of stuff? Um, yeah, I would love to do it. If you have any suggestions on like where to move certain characters, on how hard they are to master slash play, you guys can comment down below. You already know. And hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys next time.